How clean is your shotgun? Andy's semi-auto gets a buff and a polish at the UK's biggest shooting kit distributor. Roy needs to use his brains as well as his ballistic brawn to drop those foxes. News leads on New Zealand's Great Easter Bunny Hunt with real rabbits. Welcome to Fieldsports Britain. Has enjoyed shooting Berettas for years, and today he's got the chance of picking up a new gun and giving a loan gun and his old faithful a wash and brush up. We're at GMK, the UK's biggest shooting sports distributor, based in Fareham on the south coast. GMK is responsible for bringing in and representing big brands like Beretta, Benelli, Seiko and Tikka in the UK.
We are the biggest distributor in the UK for shooting sports products. That means a big responsibility of keeping our suppliers happy, keeping our customers happy. We have a big range of suppliers from fairly small ones to enormous ones like Beretta, so it keeps us busy, that's for sure.
As well as a look around this impressive operation, it's an opportunity for Crow to get a gun fitting. He is being given the new Beretta 692 Black to shoot with. GMK doesn't normally do an in-house fitting, as stocker Mark Course would normally work from measurements from a gun shop.
Not too
but
bad
Crow
at all.
is a special
What
case.
I try and do, I try and get the rib to cut between the bottom of your pupil and the bottom of the iris.
Yeah.
Somewhere there
Yeah.
will give you the height. Some people like to shoot under.
I like it like an ironing board. I like it flat.
You like it flat?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I went.
Okay. Yeah. What I will do, I'll put a thicker pad on.
Yeah.
Just to see how that feels for you,
Yeah.
because you're a big chap.
Yeah. All right.
So we'll do that first. There's a 13 mil.
Yeah.
So that's on.
Yeah.
Or you can go to a 28.
That ain't far out, that.
You like the trigger where it is? I'll put doubt in your mind now.
You have.
That is the problem when you have, you know,
I used to
things that
pick
you
up
can
a gun
move.
and moulding myself around it.
This is what a lot of people do.
Yeah.
When you get in a strange car, you're going to drive it. What's the first thing you do?
Yeah.
You walk with the seat,
Yeah.
mirrors,
Yeah.
you get yourself comfy.
Yeah.
You don't
Get-
sort of drive,
No,
you know,
no,
like that
no,
or
that's right.
arm's length. You get yourself comfy.
That's the difference with a gun. People, they buy them off the shelf, and that's what I've always said. If you can, have them fitted.
Yeah.
See, when you've got 7, I can fit them myself.
Yeah.
Just about.
Yeah.
Just put a bigger pad on the back, and I do it myself. But
Yeah.
when you're going for something like this, it does pay.
Yeah. Provided you're experienced.
Yes.
If it's someone that's just starting off,
Yeah.
and I'll say, really, go away for a year.
Yeah.
Get yourself
Yeah.
into a position where you can mount the gun
Yeah.
in the same place twice. You're right for the trigger?
you have put down on one, yeah.
I still don't know.
Nah. Keep your eyes shut
Yeah.
all the time. Keep them shut.
Yeah.
When it's a good mount, when you feel you're happy with the mount,
Yeah.
say yeah and open up your eyes. All right? Just keep your eyes shut all the time. Borderline, isn't it? Borderline. Do you want to come up a? Do you want to come up a bit?
Shut up, David.
Didn't realise this was going to take quite so long.
So you can put one on.
Right, yeah.
Put that back on.
Yeah,
You're not sure, are you?
I know.
Hey, go on, have it. Go on, try it.
Just trying to confuse with this man.
It's only 1 mil there, but it's lifted it
Yeah, it has, isn't it?
just that tad.
You wouldn't think it'd make any
No,
difference.
no. People say, oh, a millimetre, what's that going to do?
That's what I was thinking when I was walking over.
Well.
I thought a mil ain't going to make much
Ah. This is dry firing, if you like.
Yeah.
When you're actually firing an anger,
difference. Does
it
it?
can alter it, but for the purposes of fitting your eyes in the right place.
Yeah.
I've done my job, it's down to you now.
Oh, right.
With the 692 fitting well, Andy has to confess to the workshop manager Malcolm when he last cleaned his gun.
Okay, Andy, so we've got your Beretta semi-auto.
Yeah.
Could you tell us the last time it was stripped and cleaned?
Yesterday. Yeah, yesterday.
So in between yesterday and today, you've obviously put a lot of shots through the gun.
Yeah.
We would certainly recommend, obviously, with a semi-auto that sees regular use, 100 shots and above, that the gun is stripped
right out.
down.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a full strip and clean, but certainly a breakdown and check and cleaning of all the major moving components.
Yeah.
I think based on what we've got in front of us, it's fairly clear to see that the gun does need a good strip and a clean.
Yeah.
Some of the parts are going to need to be replaced because of the corrosion that's evident. With what we have here is certainly going to require more than a basic strip down. We have the luxury of using an ultrasonic cleaner. Through the use of an agitation of sound waves through the water and the cleaning solution, it will clean off the majority of this.
Something like that, you're better off taking that to a gun shop.
Yes,
To the
absolutely,
Yeah.
to a competent gunsmith, yes.
Because if I did that, I'd probably have, I'd have a box and
Yeah, to
loads of
recap
spares.
on what we said a minute ago,
yeah,
after 100 shots of basic strip down, which
Yeah.
you can do at home,
just drop the trigger
Yeah.
mechanism. Yeah,
a visual inspection,
Yeah.
through experience and an experienced shot, you can look at it and say,
Yeah.
yes, it needs to go to a gunsmith
Yeah.
to have a full strip down.
yeah,
A lot of that is down to based on how much you use it and
Yeah.
what you think. Is the gun still cycling?
Yeah.
Any issues with it not cycling? One of the biggest things that we deal with are people have cycling issues with semi-automatics. First question we ask them is, when was it last stripped and cleaned? Because if it is corroded up, fouled up, then it's going to hinder the gun from cycling.
The gun down first.
If
take the
you
foreign
want
nut
to
off.
learn how to break down, strip and clean your own Beretta semi-auto, click on the link on the screen where there's a film of
The
senior
foreign will come
gunsmith
off.
Paul taking you through all the
And you'll take
stages.
the barrel off.
Now, it's not just semi-autos being looked after here today. They are also working on a very special pair of Berettas. We have been given permission to film racing driving legend Sir Jackie Stewart's game guns. They are beautiful, with hidden secrets, and a bit too small for Andy. He's a bit more tractor than Tyrrell. So Andy's done rather well from his day at GMK. New kit, rejuvenated old favourites, plus some other bits and bobs that he will reveal in the upcoming series of Crowhow. That series of Crowhow will be out over the next few months, right from shiny new shotguns to dull, barely functioning newsreaders. It's David on the Fieldsports Channel News Stump.
This is Fieldsports Channel News. The Great Easter Bunny Hunt has taken place in New Zealand. Hundreds of hunters have shot around 10,000 rabbits in central Otago as part of an annual 24-hour Easter shooting bonanza to curb the introduced species. Running now for 25 years, the winning team shot 889 rabbits. These images come from a truly excellent report of the hunt a few years ago by Country TV. My Grandma, what a big semi-auto you have. The American National Rifle Association has rewritten classic children's fairy tales, such as Little Red Riding Hood and Hansel and Gretel, to include rifles and shotguns. Now its website showcases the tales of Hansel and Gretel have guns, and Little Red Riding Hood has a gun. The annual hare shoots on Scottish estates have hit the media. For years, a Scottish academic called Adam Watson has been blaming shooting on large estates for a decline of the mountain hare. Despite Watson's prophecies of doom for the hare, there are still hundreds being shot, as this pickup truck full of hares shows, a picture published by online magazine The Ferret. One of Ireland's top animal activists has been suspended from his job at the Ulster Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. The USPCA suspended Stephen Philpott after carrying out a review of its corporate governance procedures and finding what it calls issues of concern. Is pink the new orange? US states require hunters to wear blaze orange. In an effort to get more women to take up the sport, the state of Colorado has given final approval to a measure that would add pink to a list of acceptable colours to wear when out hunting. In the wake of Facebook's ban on private gun sales, there's a new website for shooters. UKShootersNetwork.com provides blogs, videos and forums for shooters, as well as gun classified ads. And finally, American police are turning their hand to wildlife disputes. Two officers in the state of Maine tried to separate two bald eagles that were having a fight. The eagles did what perps do everywhere. They fled the scene. You are now up to date with Fieldsports Channel News. Stalking the stories, fishing for facts.
Thank you, David. Now, Roy is not just a pretty face. He's got plenty up top too. I don't mean hair, of course, and certainly not that hat. I'm talking brains. If foxes were daft as brushes, we wouldn't have to resort to technology sometimes to get the job done.
I like planting boxes, I do.
But a shooter should never become complacent and take a back seat. Foxing demands brains as well as ballistic brawn. Take this evening. Roy is on a pheasant shoot in Hampshire where a few of the foxes understand that a distress call plus lampshine plus a bang followed by a sense of that was close means danger.
We're in some quite big fields tonight, so we might have to stretch the ranges a little bit out to sort of 300 yards or so. So I'm just going to put the box up, check zero, and then just see exactly where we are on the multi-dot reticle on the drone, and then hopefully if we do get any lengthy shots, because it's a lovely still night, there's not a lot of wind, then we'll be in a position to take them.
This is when it calls for something like Lupton, with the drone pro tend to swagger in like Travolta and ask all others to stand aside while they take centre stage. Our first fox is textbook, though Roy needs to manoeuvre to get around onto it, but it falls. However, the second needs some thought. It's in thick cover and doesn't want to budge.
He might not be fussed about the truck.
Roy needs to make this count, so to maximise his chance of success, he uses a Trojan horse in the shape of his truck to get close enough.
Okay,
It works beautifully.
we employed all tactics to try and get that one, obviously. Yeah, we are on the middle of a pheasant shoot, so we want to make sure we eradicate and not educate any of these foxes about. This one was being really tricky because I think what had happened when we were concentrating on the first one coming in from our left, I think this one had come in behind us and made us already. Luckily it stopped just as it on the edge of the wood, but initially we couldn't get a shot because where we were quite low, all I could see was the top of its head. So we used the car to stalk up on it, because as we're close to a road, they're obviously used to cars going up and down. And we got a little bit closer, I could see a little bit more of its head, and that just allowed us the shot, thank goodness.
Healthy specimens and likely to have enjoyed a few pheasants over winter. Roy bags a third. After 3, things switch off. Foxy spots deliver nothing.
We started off with great vigour, and we slacked off towards the end. So not always the best way. But I mean, we ended up with 3, so it's not bad, but for some reason the switch went and they've just turned off. Again, I mean, it doesn't help. We have got a bit of a moon. We've most of the evening it's been covered with a bit of cloud cover, but it's definitely shining up now. But yeah, it's literally as if all the foxes have vanished now. But we shall try again, give it another couple of weeks, and we'll come back up and Hopefully, a few more will come and play.
So next time you've got a fox that just won't budge, maybe consider taking the party to him.
Well done, excellent.
Roy using every trick in the book to make it work. Now from Hampshire to the rest of the world of hunting and shooting on YouTube, it is Hunting YouTube. This is Hunting YouTube, which aims to show the best hunting and shooting videos that YouTube has to offer. Danny Lindstrand calls himself Tall Viking, and a mate describes him as Suffolk Farm Boy, have started a company that teaches British and other hunters to shoot moving targets on driven hunts. They fly them to Gothenburg in Sweden and put them in front of this device, which you can use with live ammunition. In the world of real hunting, and Randy Newberg is out with a friend who has drawn a mountain goat tag in Montana, USA. It is an emotional hunt. More shooting than hunting now. Armorsight Texas Hog Eradication Trip has the Armorsight people down to Lone Star Boars to test gear on live quarry. Hunt Productions has put out a series of films it made with Leopards Valley safaris in South Africa. This is Blue Wildebeest Hunt, not the toughest stalk in the world, but shows you the basics. Staying in Africa, in Buffalo Hunt 2015 you get to see a large hunter suffering from exertion, as well as the physical taxation of tracking one of Africa's big five. The film goes too black from time to time, but forgive it and fast forward. Goose hunting in Quebec and Ontario in French next. Teaser de Nos Chasses 2015 by Sauvagine MLH shows some of the goose shooting that this guide offers. In the same general area but in English or American, Colorado Front Goose Hunt has 7 in a blind in the middle of one of North America's most bodacious concentrations of waterfowl. And finally, a small amount of trumpet blowing. The Pace Brothers podcast features interviews with terribly important people in the hunting and shooting world. It's radio, not TV, and there are lots of ways of getting it via iTunes and Android app, and it is on YouTube too. This month they are interviewing, goodness me. That's it for this week. If you have a YouTube film you would like us to pop into the weekly top 8, send it in via YouTube or email me the link, charlie@fieldsportschannel.tv. Well, we are back next week. If you haven't done so already, please go to our website, fieldsportschannel.tv, where you can click to like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter, or pop your email address into our constant contact box on the register page. We'll constantly contact you about this show. Fieldsports Britain is at 7 PM UK time every Wednesday, and this has been Fieldsports Britain. Good hunting, good shooting, good fishing, and goodbye.